darling, there's only one God. Darling, there's only one God.
Welcome to the Dirty Bag Podcast. I'm your host, Cookie, and as always, thank you for tapping in with me today. You could be anywhere with anybody, but you're here with your girl. She's 1 year older. I took another lap around the sun recently. See, girl, y'all, I'm 43. We getting old. The eggs is, I don't know, they expired. We in the big age category. I guess we can officially call it big age. I'm still not saying auntie. I'm still not, we not saying auntie at all. So, yes, I'm 43 now. So I am in the more seasoned club. This is my 5th birthday as a Dallas resident, y'all. So I feel like I'm really in this city now. Like I feel like I'm really here. This has been a journey, to say the least. I came at the end of my 30s. I done went through so many milestones. Y'all done seen me move up, down, round, and round. I done went through all the things. I don't know what it is about this year. I've just felt more, I think maybe because of the social and political climate we in, I just ain't gave a fuck about shit. I have not wanted to be bothered. I wanted to be in my own skin. I've just wanted to reflect on the time that I have left. I know I said that before. I said it last year, but I mean, it's hitting different now. And I think because we have so many changes, so many unexpected changes. And I feel like this current administration is really just speeding us on up to glory. So for my birthday this year, I was very low key. I had a very intimate dinner. Little pool cookout the next day with friends. I didn't do a whole lot. I didn't make a huge fuss. But the one thing I did want to reflect on is, what do I want for myself specifically at this stage of my life? And I think intentionality about what and who comes into my space has been a huge focus for me. Y'all know me as that friendly Bob that want to go to everything, every networking event. I've talked about the importance of sitting your ass down somewhere, but now it's the importance of stating your price. Letting people know that you need to pay the cost. You need to pay the cost to hang out with the boss. Meaning, as much as I pour into people, as much as I show up for folks, this is a reciprocity season for me. Okay? So let's talk about relationships, because that's the focus for me. I want to tie this into something that's just been going viral. Everybody been having their hot takes on it. I love this girl, but y'all been really getting in her ass. But I think the beautiful thing about this moment is that it's really causing us to talk more about our friendships. B. Simone. The thing I love about B. Simone is that this girl has mastered the art of keeping a bag because she knows how to keep her name in y'all mouth. She knows that y'all are going to get upset. Y'all going to try to cancel her. She knows these things are inevitable because of the types of content she puts out, because of things that comes out of her mouth. And she capitalizes on it every time. From a podcast standpoint, I think B. Simone is one of the best to do it because she knows how to get y'all pissed the hell off and to run with it. And as much as y'all say, I never liked her, I never thought she was funny, she knows how to stay rent-free. She rents condos in y'all head. She got mortgages, all the things in y'all head. So she did a podcast recently, her new podcast, Let's Try This Again. I think obviously a play on the failed podcast with her and Megan Ashley. But she had a new friend on there. Now, I don't know about y'all. I don't use the term best friend very often. I certainly don't use it loosely, but the girl that was on this particular episode is a very close friend of hers. Now, the friend referred to her as her bestie. So I think we also need to unpack unrealistic expectations with our relationships and claiming things that are not quite what we think it is. So B. Simone was talking about the trauma that she's dealt with from being that strong friend, from supporting people, from doing all of these things, to now she gets a little paranoid with new relationships. And as she's talking about all these situations she's gone through with paying for divorces, she's shown up in so many ways for all these friendships. Her homegirl points out, yeah, and by the way, everybody thinks that like when you're friends with somebody that's a celebrity, you got it like that. But how about I was going through it? I lost my car. I lost my job. I had to move back in with my people. I went through all these things while I was watching you write checks. It was a beautiful moment in podcasting, but personally, I feel like baby girl got the opportunity to get her issue off with her dear friend, and she took it. Before you bring your friend on a podcast, I think it is very important, unless it's intentional, to iron out whatever issues y'all got. Because somebody that may have felt abandoned by you, lights, camera, action. If the opportunity arises, they're going to take it. Why? Because they're human. Why? Because if something's been building up, it's got to come out. And I felt like for B's friend, this was an opportunity for her to finally deal with the axe that she had to grind with her. And the whole time she's talking, B is hitting her with the Jesus, not a damn, I wish I could have been there for you. Not a damn, I might have failed you as a friend in that moment. None of that. But pause. I don't know the full details of their friendship because I felt like they didn't go too deep in the woods about how that situation could have been handled. Sometimes when we go through it, it's very hard to tell your friends, yo, I'm at rock bottom right now. Sometimes our friends think we're okay because we don't always communicate our struggles. Now, I'm going to speak about myself and then I'm going to turn it back to B because everything always has to apply to our real lives. A couple of months ago, a friend of mine hit me up and she was like, hey, like I want to take you to brunch. I could use a friend right now. I've been going through a lot. I really need some girl time. And I'm like, of course, like, hell yeah. And we hadn't seen each other in a while. She came to support an event that I emceed, but outside of that, we hadn't had that personal time. And let's be clear, y'all. There's a huge difference between seeing your friends at a networking event where everybody is locked in, clocked in, you're getting content, you know what you're there for, right? It's like it's a job, right? As a content creator, as a creative, as entrepreneurs, when you go to networking events, that's not the same as kicking it with your girls. At least I don't see it that way. So we saw each other in that space. But again, we hadn't seen each other, and unbeknownst to her, I was going through it. Unbeknownst to me, she was really going through it. And I think sometimes we look at folks' social media and we look at that as a guiding tool, as keeping us informed about what's going on in folks' lives, when it's a highlight reel. Everybody's not getting on social media every day saying, I'm going through it. I feel like I'm losing it all right now. I'm at rock bottom. Very few people, except the people that, everybody don't do that. So when we get to brunch, what she's saying to me is like, man, I was going through XYZ, but every time I would log on, I would see you. And it's like, my girl is crushing it right now. And I think sometimes we forget, and I've said this on multiple occasions, anytime it looks like Cookie is winning, when there's a big moment for me, please understand it is parallel with a really big low. The enemy does not like to see me excel. The enemy does not like to see me win. There is always a battle on the opposite end. I never get full peace in the moments where I have opportunities or I'm getting my flowers. So don't ever think shit is sweet over here. It's not. But because she and I hadn't talked, the view from her cherry tree was while she's drowning, I'm just, I'm kicking it. I'm just living it up. And that wasn't the case. I was going through it as well. And when I'm going through it outside of a networking event that I feel like I'm obligated to be at, I stay to myself. I very rarely come out when I'm struggling because the way I see it, I got to get through this. And the best way for me to get through this is to isolate myself, figure it out. And also, sometimes we just know that folks, or we feel life has shown us through experience that people don't always show up. Or even worse, some people are happy that you're going through it. I've had people in my life that are only comfortable with talking to me and vibing with me when I'm venting about something, when it seems like I'm in the valley, when I'm going through a storm. That's when they're comfortable calling my phone, texting me. But when I come up out of that and I'm on the other side, I don't hear from them as much. So be clear. There are some friends that are only I don't even want to call them friends. Some people are only comfortable with you when you're down, because sometimes they feel like they got one up on you, right? It makes them feel better about their life. Some people are just not, and I hate to sound negative because we can't assume that about everybody, but let's be clear. It's a lot of people. I'm going to tie B. Simone back into this because at one point, the friend brought up the fact that I guess when she got herself back together, she had talked to B one day about an opportunity she got. And B just kind of seemed dry and called her back immediately afterwards and said she didn't like how she felt in that moment, meaning she didn't have the enthusiasm she should have had for her friend having an opportunity. And she said, I don't feel jealous. Like, I'm trying to figure out what these feelings are. And that her friend had an opportunity, but she wasn't doing it with her. Y'all, there are people that will only clap for you. I'm not really saying this is B, but it brings up a good point. Some people will only clap for your wins and your opportunities if they can attach themselves to it. I've experienced this. Some people are cool with your wins if they aided in it, if they can take credit for it. And I think that is, you got to watch them people. I don't give a damn, because if you can't be happy with I'm going to give you an example. I got a few examples, actually. When I first moved to Dallas and I was really working on the podcast, one of the first big moments for me was Voyage Dallas. Don't laugh at me, y'all. When I found out I was getting that little Voyage Dallas write up, baby, I was happy. I only been in the city, a year? I'm working on this podcast that I barely had visuals for. I haven't had this huge community. I ain't been signed off by nobody, and I'm getting me a little write-up. Yes. So what I told one of my homegirls is, when this article drops, I'm going to work on my first Dirty Bag event. I'm going to have something for people to come celebrate it. It's a marked moment for me. So once the article dropped, of course, I posted it on Instagram. She saw it. I know my friends are active. She called me later on that day and talked about everything but that article. She talked about something that she was trying to do and that she was going to invite people in town to check it out. And I said, well, I can't really travel right now. I said, I can't really travel right now because the Dallas Voyage article, y'all, I cannot talk tonight. It's the illiteracy for me. I can't travel because I got to start planning this event. The Dallas Voyage article dropped and it got so dry. Like, she didn't have much to say about that, and she knew the article was dropping. After that, we didn't talk for a while, moved past it and all that good stuff, but I never forgot it. Second time this happened, the Dallas Entertainment Award nominations dropped, like the official nomination, and I got it. I posted it early that morning. Somebody that is always active, that of course saw it, called me up, and it was a very strange phone call. This friend called me up to ask for somebody's phone number that I am not in community with, that I'm not friends with, that I've just casually seen at events, but she has access to that person. And she asked me for her phone number because a certain company that she deals with wanted her to do an event, and she needed this person for yoga. Again, didn't mention the official nomination at all. And when I realized we were just going to keep talking in circles about why I didn't have this person's phone number, why she thought I would have this person's phone number, I got off the damn phone. You're not going to play with me. So when people are truly rooting for you and when they're not rooting for you, but they want to center yourself. They want to center themselves in your big moments. Anybody that tries to center themselves when they know that this is a big moment for you, it's a red damn flag. It's a red flag. So B. Simone is telling this girl that it saddened her that her friend had an opportunity that she wasn't doing with her. Child. Now, everybody and their mama was kind of ripping B. Simone. I think that a lot of people are more like B. Simone than they want to admit. It's a lot of friends out here that are situational. They would deal with you depending on where you are. And if you look at it, the past friends that B. Simone's had, let's talk about Megan Ashley for a minute. For a while, she played background. So she was kind of like watching the money. She was playing the supportive friend role. When they did that podcast together, Megan picked up a fan base pretty fast. People fell in love with Megan. She's gorgeous. She does not play about her walk or the word. Like, she became a celebrity in her own right. I personally feel B was not used to seeing her in that space. She was used to her being background. And I think it didn't go over well. Aside from the fact that her friend was also going through a divorce. So, I mean, it was a load for B to carry, but also I think that sometimes people want their friends to become popular, not necessarily as popular as they are. And this is why when best friends start podcasts together, I'll be crossing my fingers for y'all. And it's not to be a negative Nancy. Again, I'll say when I first got into podcasting, the first collabs I did were with co-host besties. And those podcasts that I dealt with early on, the podcast is not together anymore, and neither is the friendship. So I think that when besties start podcasts together again, you need to have honest conversations about expectations. Treat it like a business and not something that you're just doing, because things are good. First of all, y'all are going to change as individuals. You're going to get different opportunities because you're going to have, again, different fan bases. One of y'all might be the standout. Why? One of you might be a little bit more background. Like, there's just so many things to consider. I think a prime example, and these are my faves, horrible decisions, now decisions. They went to school together. They go way back. They started out as friends. Now it's a business, and I mean, they've elevated. They just dropped a book and everything. Again, they doing a damn thing, but they are no longer friends. They have to treat the podcast like a business. And at one point, they damn near walked away from it because of the way they started clashing. And when Mandy went on another podcast, she said that her advice to anybody is don't go into podcasting with your friend. It can ruin the friendship because of business expectations versus personal. So I ain't saying don't go into podcasting with your friend, but just have them real conversations, because we've seen how it's destroyed friendships. But back to it. Another thing that B. Simone brought up was that she wants a team of people. She wants her friends to kind of put their time and invest into let's try this again, not be all in, sort of kind of on let's try this again, but have your own shit. She don't want nobody that has their own shit a part of her team. She wants 100% dedication to what she has going on. Now, I've told a friend this once. I've said this to multiple people. When you are creative and you have your own life outside of your job, whoever is employing and paying you, you have to put just as much energy into your own shit that you're putting into building somebody else's baby. I don't care if you're here to serve. I don't care. You have to put as much time and energy into your dream as you do building somebody else's. Because the fact of the matter is, you're an employee. At any moment, you can be let go. It's not yours. I don't care how much time you put into it, how much blood, sweat, and tears. It is not your vision. It is not your baby. You are a worker. And I guess the example I would use is one of my favorite brands, Slutty Vegan. I love Pinky Cole. She was one of the first people I felt to see me as a creative, giving me that opportunity with American Sesh. I feel like it kind of just changed my whole 2023. But if you're not aware, Pinky lost her company for like a month and some change. She had to buy her company back. But what we learned is she had to let a lot of people go. If y'all remember, Slutty Vegan used to have some of the best social media content out there. Slutty Vegan had the best marketing, the best, hands down. She had a solid team behind her. And I know some of the people that were on the social media team. So obviously when she made changes, she let some folks go. And some of them people are no longer a part of the Slutty Vegan brand. But you could tell they put their blood, sweat, and tears into it. But also, they were all very talented people, some of the girls especially, and they had their own shit outside of it, whether they were videographers, had their own initiatives in Atlanta, whatever it was they did, DJs, all of that. They had their own things to fall back on. Some of y'all get so caught up in building somebody else's dream that you don't realize how talented you are, and you don't have your own shit you don't have your own brand to fall back on should that person let you go one day. Never, ever, ever get too comfortable, because at the end of the day, it's work. It's a job. I don't care if somebody says we're like a family. Anytime somebody tells you we're a family and you ain't got stock in what they doing, you don't have ownership, child. Family cuts each other off. family moves on. Sometimes family decides you worthless and they leave you alone. People get ostracized from families all the time. Families got black sheep. So you got to always think about what's best for you, what legacy you want to leave, and what you building for yourself while you helping somebody else build their shit. That's all I'm saying. So yeah, this episode with B. Simone, people were so focused on her, but one of the things I was a early fan of B. Simone, y'all. I would never talk, I ain't trying to come down on the girl. I drove from Wichita, Kansas to Kansas City in 2018 to go to her first stand-up comedy tour. At the end, I got pulled on stage with her and Desi to do improv. It was so much fun. She told me I should go into comedy. Like, I enjoyed watching her growth. Only difference between B. Simone and everybody else is we watched her make mistakes on camera. We watched her highs and lows. We watched B. Simone clean out her dirty bag. But the girl can market. And when she spoke at Podcast Summit last year, she talked about the fact that she markets what's going on with her life. Like when she had a crush on a baby, that was real. When people thought she was being shady because she moved that chair with her rollout of the new podcast, people felt like she was being shady. And her response was, if y'all felt like I was being shady, then it is what it is. That's where I was at the time in my life. We see all of her growth, all of her falls, all of her wins. So as a podcaster, that's kind of what you want to see. You want to see vulnerability. You want to see mistakes. You want to see that, you know what, girl, we ain't that different than you. But I think that because y'all are hell bent on disliking that girl, and now y'all bringing up the whole thing with her not dating somebody that works a 9 to 5, because she talked about her finances right now and that she had to go to H&M because she was in Bloomingdale's. For a millionaire, that's a big deal. We ain't got her pockets. It is. I mean, it was a hell of a thing for her to cry about. Maybe she was just emotional about the fact that she's had a lifestyle change because her money has had to go into investing as opposed to liquid and her just being able to shop. Y'all conveniently forget things, and I don't like that. So we got to be fair about this. B. Simone said on a tour after she got drugged for filth when she said she didn't want to date somebody that was a 9 to 5. At one of her shows, she said, show of hands, how many of y'all work a 9 to 5? Everybody raised their hand. She said, all right, how many of you love your job? A lot of folks in the audience didn't love their job, but she said that's one of the main reasons she doesn't want a man that works a 9 to 5, because if he's working a job, if he's doing something he has to do as opposed to what he wants to do, he won't be happy and he might take it out. I mean, I'm paraphrasing, but basically she wants somebody that has the flexibility and the freedom to do what they love. I understood that wholeheartedly because she's in a position where she's building her legacy and she's doing the things that she loves to do. She wants somebody by her side that has the freedom and the flexibility to move as he wants to, and he loves what he does. Who gonna argue with that? It's a valid reason. But when y'all get upset with folks, y'all will go back in the vault and dig up what they did last summer, what they did in 1989, and it's just like, the more you talk about this girl, the more y'all try to cancel her, you are driving traffic to her. You are going to, whether you like that girl or not, you gonna make B. Simone some money. And for that, I say, girl, my hat's off to you. But you can go through some friends. And I ain't even, I think sometimes I got more in common with her. Look, I'm at a place in my life, and again, I'm at 43, I let people go. I don't argue. I don't debate. I don't keep up beefs. I let people go. So I understand when you're no longer in alignment with people and you got to move different. And also, y'all, when folks remove you from their life, and that means like no longer speaking to you, maybe even removing you from their digital space. Learn something about me real quick. I will block your grandma. I will delete your nephew. And it is not because we're beefing. I am a firm believer. Hey, if you don't rock with me, you don't need to be in my house. That doesn't just mean in person. That also means digital. Dallas is one of them places. And I want to get on this too, because I've seen a lot of discourse online about newbies moving to Dallas. The transplants always want to make critiquing Dallas some weird personality trait to go viral. And I think y'all are odd. I understand some critiques. I've had some as well. But when that's all you do, I think a lot of y'all move to Dallas for the plot. I think you do. But before I get into that, what I'm saying is I let people go. I'm cool with letting folks go. But if you get deleted, if you get blocked, that doesn't mean we're beefing. That means I don't need to be in your business. And baby, you don't need to be in mine. That's it. That's all. That is it. That's all. I've been on the phone with folks that have talked about how raggedy people are, how they don't fool with them, just talking down on the work they do, them not being sincere. At the same time, when that person said raggedy person comes across my timeline, the first like I see is from the person claiming they don't fool with them. I don't like that. I don't like it, because if you do it to them, you're going to do it to me. I'd rather just eliminate that, dog. Like, I believe in limiting access when the situation has expired. Does that mean we can't come back around later? We absolutely can. But for now, in this season, I don't trust you. Move. And if you're looking at me from a burner account, seek help. Seek help. So now let's transplant. So like I said, I've celebrated 5 birthdays now in Dallas. So I feel like I can speak on Dallas a little bit as a transplant and kind of to all these criticism a lot of y'all have. So the top 2 things is there's nothing to do in Dallas and y'all can't make no friends. What I learned about Dallas real quick, whatever city you lived in, and my guest kind of hit me to this a couple of years ago, is that Dallas is a relationship town. This is a business town. So 9 times out of 10, when folks meet you, they're wanting to see how you can benefit their bottom line. Are you useful? Ain't nobody trying to fool with you just to be fooling with you. Are you useful, or are you aesthetically pleasing in photos? Do you look good for content? Do you have a lot of followers? People need to see some form of value to invest time in you. Is that a bad thing? No, I get it. Folks don't want to waste their time. They don't want fruitless relationships, but at the same time, like, so you have to wonder why somebody wants to befriend you. Is it because they really like you, or is it because you got something they need? Okay. There's nothing to do in Dallas. A lot of y'all don't come outside. Dallas is one of them cities where if you don't find nothing to do, baby, you just bored. You're the boring person. You are the lazy person, and you don't want to go outside because you're scared to step out. 90% of the events that I go to, whether it's networking or anything else, just regular leisure, I go alone, and I meet a lot more people that way. I do. Now, there's local Dallas, and then there is transplant Dallas. So with the locals, yeah, you're going to have to work. You got to put in some work. They already look at us kind of sideways. I understand some of the reason. I think there are transplants that come here and kind of just try to take over in certain lanes without paying respect to the homegrowns that paved the way for whatever it is they're doing. I do understand that. But Dallas can be a little cliquish. A lot cliquish. One thing I do know is that if people here, locals, don't care for you, for whatever reason, them motherfuckers will they will try to get other people on board. They will try to recruit people to dislike you. I'm sorry, Dallas. Y'all definitely do that shit. Dallas is messy. Dallas can be a little messy. So sometimes you got to wonder when somebody is approaching you or pulling you into the fold, are you really pro me, or you just anti somebody else? And I'm a benefit to whatever little weird, messy shit you got going on. It's real. I'm sorry. It kind of is. But I also think a lot of people move to Dallas and you don't have a plan. So what y'all get caught up in is watching influencers on TikTok and Instagram, and you think you're going to have the lifestyle they have, not realizing they are locked in and clocked in. You're looking at somebody that's got a brand deal, somebody that is funding their own content, trying to get a brand deal. And sometimes some people are just dead broke. And they know how to make it look real good online because they're building. There are some people that are full-time content creators. Some are doing really well. Some are still getting their feet wet. So you can't expect to come here thinking you're going to have that lifestyle. Number one, you don't know how hard that content creator, that influencer has worked to get to where they are. And also, you got to have goals for yourself. Everybody ain't meant to be an influencer. I don't think everybody's meant to be an influencer. I don't know. So some of y'all move here and you expect this lifestyle to just fall into your lap. And when you get here and you realize like rent is kind of high, There's a lot of traffic. It's hot as hell. And you actually got to go outside to make friends. Y'all clam up. And then you just get online and you complain all day long. You got to have a plan. I think the reason there are transplants that get here and they do so well is because they know what their purpose is. They hit the ground running. I did. My head was down for the first 8 months. I didn't know anybody yet. And thank God I didn't move here knowing influencers, because that wasn't my focus. So I think before you pack up and move to Dallas, ask yourself, what goals do I have for myself in this city? What am I trying to accomplish? And keep in mind, wherever you go, there you are. Okay? So if you got some internal battles, if you battling depression, if you don't know how to find joy within yourself, Dallas ain't gonna fix that for you at all. It's just not. But me personally, I've had a lot of ups and downs, but I'm very grateful for what this city has afforded me, how I've grown just as a creative. I love it. I absolutely love what Dallas is. Good, bad, and ugly. Dallas gonna stretch you. You're gonna see what you made of. So there's that. But yeah, on the friendship side, you gotta treat friendship like dating. People talk about dating in Dallas is trash. I think you should spend more time investing in your friendships, but be mindful of why people want to befriend you. Like I said, beginning of this season, somebody told me flat out they befriended me because they found me attractive. Months down the road, that same person turned around, pressed me, and asked me, was I bi? And then told me they were disappointed when I said no. So the same way we say sometimes these dudes ain't shit, hey, sometimes these girls, what do we say? I'm no better than a man. Sometimes these girls are no better than a man. Now you got to worry about whether or not somebody befriending you because she hoping she get an opportunity to scissor one day because she's hoping you're bi-curious. This is a queer-friendly podcast. I stopped creating with somebody because he was homophobic as hell. So I don't play about my queer and trans folks, but I'm not going down there. Fish is not on the menu for me. The only scissor I use is to layer my hair. That's just not in the cards here. So definitely don't befriend me thinking that's what we about to do. And now you getting frustrated with me later on and pretending it's something else. I'm sorry. No. So back to this. So again, with B. Simone, I think the thing that y'all can take away from that situation is be mindful of the red flags in your friendships, but also start having realistic expectations. Some of y'all be calling folks friends and y'all are merely associates. Let's get clear on a few things, okay? There are people that you can create with. Like when y'all get together, y'all gonna do some content and y'all gonna make magic. And you might do it a couple of times. That does not make y'all friends, okay? You go hang out with somebody, y'all have a drink or two a couple of times. That does not constitute a friendship either. Sometimes people are just really cool. Sometimes folks are just associates. And I think that when you put people in the proper categories, you don't end up disappointed. Okay? To me, when we done went through it, when I'm able to really be vulnerable with you about the struggles that are going on in my life, aside from the highs, we can party together, but we can have tough conversations. Then I might call you a friend. I had somebody get mad at me at the end of the year because I called her out on being messy. If you ever have an issue with me calling you out on being messy and me feeling like you starting shit, baby, we are not friends. Some people are lifestyle homies. They there for the party, that's it. They there for the content, that's it. And that is okay. Bruh, it's okay. And I'm gonna tell you what kind of people I don't rock with. Those of y'all that love playing sides or trying to straddle in the middle to make sure you gotta stay the hell away. You got to stay the hell away. I am one band, one sound. I might not do it all at once, but you're going to have to go as well. I'm one of those people, I watch how you move. So if you're always calling me, telling me somebody else's business, things I have no business knowing about, folks, I know that I'm next. If I see you flip-flopping, you go from talking about how somebody's raggedy as hell, they this, they that, you don't fool with them, but the minute they give you a little validation, they give you an opportunity, you like Will Smith in Men in Black and waving that little pen and hoping the whole conversation disappears, I'm gonna slowly move back. So I'm somebody that we can vibe and kick it, but I watch how you treat the people around you when you don't get what you want. I watch how you speak on people. I watch, and here's another thing, y'all. When people are venting to you, don't always take everything they say in the heart. Sometimes people don't like folks because they just haven't seen them yet. They don't feel seen by them. They haven't gotten an opportunity. They haven't gotten a compliment yet. They ain't got no real issue with them. They just want to be picked. And the minute they get picked, they will switch up like nothing happened. I don't rock with y'all either. I don't trust you. You're going to turn on me too. So I think that you also have to watch how people move and how they speak about folks around them. Oh, there's so many things, y'all. So many things. But I'm so grateful to be at an age where I don't mind being alone. I love the friendships I have. I'm glad that there are people in my life that have been around for a long time and we don't have to talk every day. I'm a very low maintenance friend, extremely low maintenance. And it might be a horrible thing because I expect everybody else to be low maintenance too. There are people in my life, we can go 2 months without talking. A few months, which for some of y'all, oh my God, what? And when we get together, we don't miss a beat. When we get on the phone, it's like nothing. We don't miss a chapter. And that might be my damn problem. Shit. I'm sorry. But just get more realistic about the relationships you have in your life. And then you got to watch people that they don't want to be your friend. They want to be you. There's that as well. There are some people that want to get close to you, that want to study you. They want your spot. Use discernment. Some of y'all have terrible discernment. I saw somebody the other day around here on a podcast and she was talking about friendship. And she was just going into this whole spiel. And I'm just watching the clip. And the whole time I'm like, girl, either you are one of those people that play by the rules of keep your enemies close, your friends close and your enemies closer, or your discernment is trash because you can let somebody in your circle that cannot stand your ass. But you're giving her an opportunity right now. So you all right. I see things, I don't say shit. So yeah, what about your friends? Will they stand their ground? Will they let you down again? Oh. Let's all be a little bit more intentional this year about who we let in our lives. Not just folks that give you a warm and fuzzy, but people that can be there for the tough moments. People that can be there when they have nothing to gain. Ashe? So, thank you guys so much for tapping in. We got a whole lot going on right now. So much, but in the meantime, wear your mask, wash your hands, socially distance, and when you get a free moment, please remember to clean out your dirty bag. Till next time.